Sometimes your successful A20 heart wins are overwhelmingly powerful and get all the way to the end with no problem. Other times, it's a struggle for every inch of ground. This run was definitely a struggle, but super worth it. Start each run cursed. It's only -1 draw per fight, but this really adds up in terms of creating disastrous scenarios for the player or slowing you down in general. Or just lowering your consistency overall. This thing really hurts to have. Ozma Glacius, thanks for 8 months, if I didn't thank you already. Waffles says, I just blew my first successful A20 heart run by forgetting a key. It happens to all of us. I've even done it a couple of times on stream. Definitely hurts. But let the memory of the pain prevent you from doing it again. That's how I did it. And Cat Mash with the 69 months. Nice. Thank you, Good Catitude, for being around for so long. What's the most amount of curses I've had in a successful A20 heart run? I think I've done at least 5. We've definitely had runs where the curses have been an advantage. On Ironclad especially, it's quite possible to do that. You get... Runic Cube plus Blue Candle plus Cell-Forming Clay. And you can do some hot shenanigans. Choose. Ooh, 6 max for Remove 2 is interesting. Haven't tried a Remove 2 Silent Start in a little while, except what is this garbage? Hello? Mandatory Floor 6 Elite. I guess this one is Floor 7 over here. Mandatory Early Elite with no rest site beforehand. That is definitely tough. At least we get to fight the Guardian afterward. But yeah, that's a big yikes. Drummer says, if we see a gremlin knob, can I talk a bit more about my thought process behind blocking versus not? It's a relatively simple calculation, right? You gain block immediately, preventing X damage, but the Gremlin Knob gains strength in return, increasing their damage by a predictable amount. On low Ascensions, it's 2 strength, so they do 2 more damage with each attack, 3 damage if you're vulnerable, but on Ascensions 18 and up, it'll be 3 strength per skill you play, so that's 3 damage on the small hit, and then 4.5 damage on big hits. So the sad truth is that once you're on Ascension 18, a defend is spending 1 energy to block for 5, and then increase Gremlin Knob's damage by 4.5. For not just the current turn, but also the following turn. So it's basically never worth it to block, unless you have a very large block. It's got to block for substantially more than 5 to be worthwhile. And the math changes a little bit if you can weaken the Gremlin Knob. On lower difficulties, it's more worth blocking. Basically, you have to calculate how many turns do you have to kill the Gremlin Knob, because that will determine whether blocking is worth it or not. If you can kill the Gremlin Knob next turn, then blocking is almost always correct, as long as you block for more than you increase the damage immediately. But if you don't have a next turn kill, then you have to factor in the added damage per turn versus the single-time block. I'm not sure I'm allowed to remove 2 if I have to fight a guaranteed elite here. This might be a good reason to go 3 random potions, actually, is to make this first elite less terrifying. Yeah, maybe I'll take a potion start here. I don't normally take this starting option, but I think this is one of the best ways to get prepped for a first elite. It's possible that we get a potion from the first couple of combats. I think when you take 3 random potions, you have to consider 2 things. One is that you should probably use a potion in one of your easy pool combats, because you are very likely to get at least 1 more potion. And the other thing that you should consider is that the main advantage of your starting bonus is that you are choosing the best couple of potions to keep for the elite. So this lets us look at a lot of potions. Oh my, Flex, Blessing, Flex. Curious. Double flex potion's a good way to kill an elite with one Blade Dance. Might want to go flex blessing. Go flex blessing. But those are perfectly good starting potions. Think you weren't considering the multiple terms ahead? Yeah, that's definitely something one has to think about. And that applies as a sort of fundamental rule in every combat in Slay the Spire. Starting from the very beginning here, the biggest single example I can give is not Jawworm, but rather Cultist. Actually, speaking of Jawworm, maybe this is a Blessing of the Forge? This fight's a lot easier with a Blessing. We can perfect this fight if I Blessing here. Let's do that. Let's just use it to make this fight easier, since we took the potion start. I'm going to double defend here. Zatan, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Okay, perfect. Upgraded cards are strong. Nice and clean there. Get 20 gold and yes, a potion immediately. So I don't feel bad about that Blessing of the Forge at all. That means we get to sort of keep some of our health as part of the 3 potion start. Does the potion start bonus affect your potion chance once the run starts? No, it doesn't. So you still start at 40% potion chance by default. I think we go Dagger Throw over Backflip, by the way. I like Dagger Throw quite a bit on floor 1. Have been enjoying Hades 2 as much now than when I started. I think I've enjoyed it more as I've played a bit more of it. When I first started, the core differences from Hades 1 made it feel a bit awkward and unfamiliar, and I wasn't sure if I liked all the changes, but as I've gotten more unlocks and become more familiar with it, I'm quite enjoying it a lot. Is Hades 2 slower? Yeah, the action's a little bit slower. I don't know if I would call it easier. I don't think I would call it easier. But the real big fundamental change with Hades 2 to Hades 1 is that they realized giving the player multiple dashes is too good. So they took it away. You only get 1 dash. You can't quickly recharge the dash with any of the progression options in Hades 2. And that means you cannot use your dash as a means of evading rapid-fire attacks very easily. Instead, they give you a sprint option, and you're expected to sort of keep your distance and outrange big AoE attacks. Motler said, Hades 2 made me realize I'm so bad without the Athena dash boon. Yeah. Definitely. Somebody else put it thusly, if you play it like you're playing Hades 1, you won't get very far. And I do agree with that. It does require a different playstyle to be successful in. Which is not a criticism, mind you. Simply a statement of fact. Don't know if I'm going to the shop. Let's see what the event holds. We'd like to take 3 combats. Get some cards. Well, I'm definitely not going to the shop now. Blade Dance, though, super yes. Dagger Spray, maybe. But Blade Dance, definitely. For only 25 gold. We say farewell to Toxic Egg, farewell to Strike Dummy in this run. I almost want to remove a strike. Enrique K, thanks for 30 months. Spire board game is finally shipped. Glad to hear it. Have I played Crying Suns? I have not. For a full, if you want a easy way to find whether I've played a game or not, we have a games page on the website. with that link there, which gives you YouTube links to my playthroughs of pretty much everything that I've done. So you can just go to that page, Control F, type in a game name, and you'll find it if it's there. Spire 2 is going to be a proper sequel, Luke's Leviathan, although they've confirmed that some of the characters are coming back, Ironclad and Silent, as well as announcing a new character, the Necrobinder, I think they're called. Definitely going to be a lot of new stuff in Spire 2. Fighting Guardian, right? I'm going to dunk a strike here. Remove strikes early, remove strikes often. Alright, we're definitely going to go this way now. Strike this one and neutralize it too. Should be able to kill one or maybe even both of them next turn. Both of them it is. Good fight. If I could get no more potion drops, that'd be great for a little bit. Skewer is a very satisfying attack card. Very good with duplication potion. Pretty good with an upgrade, too. Could take a backflip here, although that'd be better had I removed a defend. I will take a skewer. I haven't gotten a physical version of the Spire board game, but I did play it on Tabletop Simulator, and I rather enjoyed trying it out. I think it's a bit of a clunky game in terms of setup. Lots of time you have to invest to do a playthrough. But it's quite well done. So talking about high ascension and trading hits here, Cultist is an enemy that sort of exemplifies having to make calculated trades in Slay the Spire. This enemy increases their strength every turn. On high ascension, it's 5 strength per turn, so they rapidly escalate their damage. And their basic attack is 6, a little bit higher than you get from 1 defend. If you are looking at 6 incoming damage in this fight and you play 2 defends and 1 strike, then you're just delaying the end of the fight and going to cause yourself to take more damage in the long run. It's definitely better to block for the 5, take the 1 on purpose, and get more damage out. Although Silent has better ways to block, so she can often just full block, no problem. But when it comes to other characters and their starting deck against Cultist, you almost always have to trade a little bit of damage to get out of the fight successfully. And the more damage you try to block, the more damage you're going to take. Sort of Faustian bargain. The longer you spend full blocking here, the worse things become for you. The Cultist is meant to teach you to attack your enemies, I think. It's one of the simplest ways to get forward, and also a lesson that you cannot always prevent every point. Feel like you always take exactly 6 against Cultist's Clad. I was trying to theorize this earlier. I don't think it's actually possible for Ironclad to perfect against Cultist, is it? I think the best you can do is taking 1. But I don't think it's possible to take 0. Even on... I guess without Ascender's Bane, they're also scaling strength less. So probably below A10 you can do it. Yeah, so we're talking floor 1 Ironclad starting deck. No starting bonus that changes anything. Versus Cultist. We did get a bonus fight here. That means the next fight is from the hard pool. I don't want to go this way, though. I want to go to this fire, right? And then maybe get a bunch of upgrades and fight the Burning Elite? Maybe. Okay, we'll take one more fight, I guess. I want the option of this rest site. This could be a little bad. Thankfully, just 1 looter. 1 looter's not usually a tough fight. Dagger throw. See you later, Skewer. Take a little bit here. Definitely want to keep these two potions together for this upcoming elite. How's it going, BU? First-time viewer from the YouTube. Started playing at the end of last year and completed your first 820 silent run last week. Well done. That referential spreadsheet containing all things Slay the Spire. Pretty old at this point, but still very helpful. If you want information about pretty much anything in Spire, enemy patterns, percent chances of things, it's really all in that spreadsheet. No escape for you. You get a regen potion. That's a nice potion, but I think I'm leaving it on the ground because we really want this combination of potions to be able to easily dispatch the elite with no upgrades. Because we either have Flex Potion into Dupe Pot Skewer, which would be 12 times 6, 72 damage. Or we have Flex Pot into Dupe Pot Blade Dance, which would be 9 times 6 for only 1 energy. And then I could also play Strikes on that turn. 9 times 6 being 54. 54 damage from that. When is a regen potion better than a blood potion? Not often. The regen potion is a little bit more healing as long as you have less than 75 max HP on Clad. So if you have less than 75 max health, you can then theoretically get more from a regen potion than a blood potion, but the blood potion is way more convenient. Or as Japanese export notes, if you have 2 of them, they can stack together. 1 regen potion is 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 15 total healing. But if you drink 2 of them alongside each other, you get 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which totals to 55. And that's a ton. That's way more. Ooh, Bouncing Flask. I will take a Bouncing Flask. Yes, please. Great way to add some scaling damage to this deck. Currently, we just have physical attacks, which do really well for low health enemies or multi-enemy combats, but poison's what you need to be able to take down a boss on Silent. You can think of it as her natural anti-boss mechanic. Oh, how delightful. Okay, we're just going to use both of these right now. Greetings, Sir Bob. That's a pretty good turn 1. Deal 80 damage to Gremlin Knob using both of these potions. And then we just kill the knob. And look at that. We get a Vajra for +1 strength and a cutting potion. I have to say, I'm relatively impressed with 3 random potions as our Niao bonus. That worked out really well. We just got a completely free elite. It's kind of like getting Niao's Lament, except arguably better? Dagger Spray Vajra is pretty tempting. Got so many attack forms already, though. I really want this backflip. Dark Lommel, thanks for Prime sub and 11 months of support. I want the backflip. And we get to upgrade a card finally. I'm thinking Skewer is a good upgrade to make this 10x times. Bouncing Flask is quite reasonable as well, as is Blade Dance, as it gets 5 additional damage with Vajra. Do I play other characters, or do I just like the Silent? Currently, I'm attempting to string together victories on the Silent. In the past, I've played a lot of this game. More than 7,000 hours at this point. In the past, we've done rotating Slay the Spire runs where I change characters after every run. I set a record of 20 consecutive wins while changing characters each time, which still stands as a world record Ascension 20 win streak to this day. Now I'm trying to get individual character win streaks. We spent a few months focusing on Ironclad. I did okay doing that. But now I'm trying to focus individually on the Silent, trying to kind of hone my experience with this character even further by fully immersing myself in it. That's kind of the idea here. So right now, I'm just playing Silent, but that's not because they're my favorite character. In a few months, I'll switch to playing exclusively Defect, seeing how best we can do with that. And then we'll do Watcher later this year as well. Our highest win streak on Clad ended up being 11, which I'm pretty happy with. That's not my best on Clad, but we got 3 different 10-plus streaks on Clad, so I was quite pleased with that. A floor is the most valuable resource in this game. That's true. Would I still say Defect is my favorite character? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't even cut or remove if I were to go here. So I think I'm going to go for the Burning Elite. Not waste that shop floor. Ultimate uh-oh. Thanks for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. I feel like win streaking is more RNG than playing a sample of 100 games and counting the wins from that. Oh, I mean, we're doing that too, right? The bot knows all. But I feel like the win streaking, if you're just trying to consider pure skill at the game or average outcomes or something like that, then sure. But this is also an entertainment show, and I think what's most important is that the win streaks, they are captivating. They have a cross-game recognition. People recognize win streaks in all kinds of roguelites, all kinds of games. And so there's a natural desire to see them replicated in Slay the Spire. And I think they also just create really cool audience engagement, the collective hype about seeing if one more win can be added to the total. And indeed, there are indeed flaws to be pointed out with using win rate as a metric as well. Win rate's not the full story. Ultimate uh-oh said, A20 Heart defeated on Ironclad after 350 hours. A big thank you for all the incredible content. Heck yeah. Can't wait to make more content for Spire 2. Is Silent the easiest to play in A20? I don't know if I would say that. I think Silent has a really tough Act 1, which can make it very hard to play her. Easiest A20 would be either Ironclad or probably Watcher, depending on who you ask or how you measure. How do I think high win streaks affect my gameplay? It's definitely stress-inducing, that's for sure. I think I'll upgrade the Blade Dance. Silent punishes mistakes the hardest? Somewhat true. I think Watcher punishes mistakes very hard as well. That's part of why I hesitate to actually call her the strongest character sometimes, is that Watcher is good as long as you're playing perfectly, and then suddenly not good when you're not. That's a lot of damage. Okay, we'll just keep all that. Take 1 here. Good. Do I think Silent has the easiest Act 4? I think Silent is the character who is best at the heart fight. Specifically, because of her tool set. Piercing Whale and Caltrops are Silent cards, and they just destroy the heart. She can have a very tough time with the Shield and Spear, though. After Image also helps a lot in that fight. Yeah, Silent just happens to have cards that perfectly counter what the heart does, which is amazing. She's also got intangibility. She's got good access to weaken. Retain is very valuable. There's so many things in Silent's favor for the endgame. Draw engines. Dexterity. That's why Tez loves seeing Ritual Dagger on Silent, just to make Shield and Spear simpler. Or says Zaishin, thanks for 65 months of support. I'm wondering if I go second Bouncing Flask here. I think maybe second Gamble is better. Go second gamble. That's a more universal card. And we get a big treasure chest, hoping for some big money here. Just the specimen. Double bouncing flask, OP. Do I even want the specimen? This thing transfers poison to a random enemy whenever a poisoned enemy dies. It's a rare relic, but a mediocre one at that. The specimen. Yeah, I think we skip here. It is good with fumes. That's true. How much better would this be if it transferred all debuffs? That would be very cool, actually. I would love to see that. I wonder if that would break the game somehow. Yeah, because of Shackled, right? Yeah, you could break the game with Shackled then. That'd be a problem. I also owe the chat a dad joke for Peter Cray. Why was the mushroom always invited to parties? Hey, we're a real fun guy. So why skip the relic? Basically because it's pretty terrible. Although it would actually help right now. It would be very useful right here. Except, no it's not, because we kill next turn anyway, right? So it would transfer poison here to this enemy, except I can already kill this enemy, so what's the point? And we have to skip one of the relics somewhere along the run to get to Act 4. A so-called heart run. Double backflip, double calculated gamble. That is insane for Act 1. And yeah, I think I'm going to go this way. We know this is not a Gremlin Knob, so I'd love to fight it. So I'm gambling on the fact that a random relic later in the run is going to be better than the specimen for our late game. Do I upgrade Bouncing Flask, or do I upgrade Skewer here? I think we upgrade Skewer, and then Bouncing Flask at the next fire. So this enemy splits in two upon reaching half health here. We want to get it as close to half health, I think, this turn. We could bring it below half health if I just did the most damage possible, right? Blade Dance, Dagger Throw, Strike, Neutralize does 41. So we'd bring it to 31, which would split it, but then we have to deal with 2 31 health medium slimes next turn. That's not good. Instead, what I'm going to do is poison it. So that'll be 9 damage this turn, 8 damage next turn. And then I want to bring it as close to 36 as possible without actually getting to 36. We can do 20, 24 plus 9 is 33. So if we just Blade Dance Neutralize here, I think we're good. Goes to 39. And then we hit it as hard as possible on this turn with Skewer. Takes 8 times 3 plus another 8. And then we have 2 easier to kill small slimes. That only have 7 health here. It's a lot more doable, although they are being rude. Why are they being rude? Perfect. Okay. Nice and easy. We have another potion. We're offered yet another backflip. I should probably take a back stab rather than a back flip. It offers 12 damage on turn 1 in exchange for one of our 7 draws and 0 energy. And then it exhausts, so we don't have to draw it again. How do I decide what path to take? Usually in Act 1, I'm looking to get as many rest sites and elites as possible and as few events as possible. You need combats, normal enemies, to give you cards and potions so that you can beat the elites. The elites then give you relics and lots of money. That's kind of how you get stronger in this game. Every run of Slay the Spire ends up taking the same number of floors. The goal with your pathing is to make sure that each floor you arrive at is the most valuable, and that you're able to keep powering up in sequence enough to deal with all of the threats that are before you. So we're also, as we go, looking to solve the next problem in front of us, the most immediate threat, which right now is firstly this Lagavulin and then the Guardian boss. We've been preparing for that with this Bouncing Flask. This is for the Guardian specifically, although it helps a lot here as well. I would certainly like to start this fight by playing said Bouncing Flask. X-Plot, very good for Guardian, by the way. Is there a reason to take events sometimes in Act 1? Definitely, yeah. You sometimes do want to take events, Act 1. Events in Act 1 are often either an upgrade or remove, in which case you're sort of improving the things that you have in your deck already, or they're an opportunity to trade HP away to gain some kind of benefit, be it gold or another relic or something like that. So you have to have spare health to want them, usually, and you want to have some amount of decent cards in your deck already, so that removals and upgrades become valuable. So you've got backflip, neutralize, gamble here. That's a good turn. I think I'd prefer the Dex Potion in the boss if we're going to use it, which we don't even necessarily need to do. Does HP loss in events count against a perfect run? There's no criteria against which the game measures a perfect run, so that would be up to the player. The game only awards points for getting perfect in elite fights and boss fights. Is there such a thing as an unbeatable seed or run? Only if you're talking about Ascension 20, and only for the silent that someone has found. But there is an Ascension 20 silent seed that is straight impossible to win. Oh my. Rewarding. Have I ever had a run where I took no damage? I've never had an Ascension 20 heart run where I took no damage at all. I have had an Ascension 20 run where I took damage in only one fight. The most dangerous fight in the game. Jawworm. Recently, another streamer by the name of Zeknar did a completely damageless Ascension 20 heart run. And that was made possible by getting a Pandora's box at the start of the run from the Niao swap and getting a lot of good cards from it. So it is possible. What's the most damage I've ever taken in a one run? Well over 1,000. We had an Ironclad run that took something like 500 damage just from the Act 3 bosses in Act 4. And lived and won because the plan was have 200 max health, take 150 damage every fight, and then play Reaper, go back to full health. This is Tuesday for an Ironclad, right? He's fine. He'll sleep it off. We've had first backstab, yes, but what about second backstab to go with Act 3, Act 2 being a problem? We're going to play Hades 2 today? I'm still planning on it. Average clad run takes 200 in the heart. That might not even be an exaggeration. Clad is a tanky boy. Oh boy, 2 strike pluses. Are backstabs a joke to you? Guess so. And I guess I'll take the Ghost in a Jar over the Dex Potion. I should be able to beat Guardian as we are just fine. And I'd rather have the Shiv Potion in Act 2 here. Definitely going to keep that Ghost for as long as possible. Do I upgrade a back flip? This is also a good neutralize upgrade. Don't think we need to further upgrade our attack damage. We've already got some good upgraded attacks in Blade Dance, Skewer, Bouncing Flask. I'm going to upgrade a backflip. I think that'll help me a lot in Act 2. And the Guardian fight. Donkey. Could just do 17 and transform. I would like to get my poison down. I'm going to gamble here. There it is. And if I neutralize you, you transform immediately. I'd rather have a free turn to draw through this garbage, so I'm not going to play neutralize here. That way Guardian blocks on this turn and will have their action interrupted by what I choose to do. It's fine. We lose the Ascender's Bane. Might take 5 on this turn. We do. I'm okay with it. Could play Dagger Throw here. Try to draw another block card. I'm going to do that. Totally worth it. Another trade we could make is by playing Bouncing Flask here. I don't feel like I need to do that. We can just full block here. That's pretty good damage. I'm not worried that we're going to fail to meet the threshold mark here. Perfect. Emu-like bird, thanks for 50 months of support. Could do 22, but if we don't, we have a free turn next turn, and then we can probably just play the Bouncing Flask. In fact, we can guaranteed play Bouncing Flask next turn without taking damage if I don't skewer. Whereas if I do skewer, we actually have to take 2 to play Bouncing Flask. So I'm going to not skewer here on purpose, essentially buying ourselves a turn by not transforming the Guardian there. And now I get to do this. I get backflip defend survivor next turn. That'd be perfect. Nope. Very well. Seems fine. Overall, we're doing very well in this fight. I'll just block here. Seems fine. GG. We're offered an unload, a corpse explosion, or a burst. This deck does like a burst. With the backflip of the Bouncing Flask and kind of with Calculated Gamble. Which Ascension reduces the healing between bosses? Ascension 5. It's one of the early ones. Did you know that I play games other than Slay the Spire? It's true. Catch me over on Baalorlord Plays for card games, RPGs, strategy games, and more. I think Corpse Explosion is quite good here. Currently, the deck has no way to hit multiple targets. It also adds to our poison damage against bosses, which I quite like. So I think this Corpse Explosion is very good. Let's take it. Burst leg sweep is a good block combo. That's true. Wow, we get a Runic Pyramid and we don't even have Will-Aid Plans Plus yet. That is definitely one of my favorite relics in the whole game, arguably my whole favorite. It says, do not discard your hand at the end of each turn, which is just great. And I like it a lot more with double calculated gambles here, allowing us to avoid the dreaded hand clog. That said, this is also a very good Sozu because we already have a Ghost in a Jar that we could potentially hold on to the end game. And, for the same reason, a good Sacred Bark, because it makes this into a double Ghost in a Jar, gain 2 turns of intangibility. But yeah, Pyramid with Calc Gamble, that's definitely just gonna happen. I am a Pyramid believer for sure. Now we want to add Piercing Whales, we want to add energy generating or 0-cost cards. We don't want to add Will-Aid Plans. Not at all. Looks like the elites are a little everywhere, a little omnipresent, although they are avoidable if we wish. I would like to fight a few. I think we're relatively good at elites right now. But do I believe aliens built the pyramids? Well, I'm sure some of the laborers had to come from other countries. So we don't discard any of this. So Act 2 pathing logic, is it still the same? Oh, great question, actually. I didn't talk a whole lot about my pathing here. Act 2 pathing is dictated, by and large, by one thing. How well do you do in the elite fights? These bad boys right here. There's 3 different ones. 2 of them require AoE checks, and 2 of them require, well, all of them require damage races. Essentially, all of the Act 2 elites are a damage race of some kind. The quicker you can KO them, the better. So the more immediate damage you have, the better. The more quality potions you have, the better. If you have a slow, methodical, or block-heavy deck, then the elites of Act 2 are going to rip you to shreds. And so you can have such a deck in Act 2, but you might need to take a different path, a path that looks more like this, potentially avoiding all the elites, or all the elites except for maybe one very late one, if you don't have a good damage plan together. Your Act 2 pathing is also determined by the Act 2 boss. Act 2 boss is definitely the first major scaling check. Can you get your deck to escalate in power turn over turn? It's very rarely the case that at the start of Act 2 you are prepared for that boss. So you need to keep your goal in mind here. Champ is very much a big scaling check for us. And then take a path that might give you a chance of beating the boss, which for us means getting to a shop so we can look at options at the shop. It means getting some more relics so we have a bit more baseline power. And it means looking at card rewards from both elites and normal combats so that we can find Catalyst would be the easiest way to kill Champ, although hardly the only way. Let's see, what am I doing on this turn? We're definitely playing the Neutralize. I could do a whole lot of other damage too. Seems like ending the fight quick is probably the best way to do this. Can I just kill the Parasite now? Let me double check something. We have 12, 12, 33. So 24 plus 33 is 57. 61. And this is another 21. For 82. That's not enough. Not quite. So take 8. I guess we're taking 8. I could do survive or neutralize and then gamble for 3. Try to get a block card, but then I lose all my best damage, so the fight's going to last longer. I don't think that's right. Let's just keep the gamble. Or 7, excuse me, not 8. Even better. We'll defend, take 2 more. Don't know that any of our draws would let us kill here. Seven by 2 again, okay. Okay, we outlasted the frail. Now we can make some progress. Let's do it like this, I guess. Skewer's only 33, not... no, that would kill next turn. Yeah, we just kill next turn. Cool. 24 plus 6 is less than 33. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. There's the first Piercing Wail. We called this out specifically as a card we wanted. It's very good when you can retain it. Dramatically reducing enemy damage for 1 turn. Best used on a turn when enemies are doing multi-attacks against you in one way or another. Look at that. We can pay for a relic here. I would love a relic. What do you got? Centennial Puzzle. The first time we lose health each combat, draw some more cards. I like that. Because oftentimes we don't quite, especially with the 2 backstabs, we don't get to retain a lot of cards turn 1. Maybe shouldn't have backflipped, actually. Because backstab, skewer would have cleanly killed 1. Now for 2 energy, it's 12, 12, 22, which is only 46. Yeah, 46. We can use this Shiv Potion, though. And with a 50% potion chance, I think that's a decent idea. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Front one has quite a bit less health, so it might be that we save some health if I kill the front one first here. Let's see, 24 plus 21 is 45. No. Kill the back one. And then we can also gamble for neutralize if we want to, yeah. Good enough. Why do I want to prioritize the back one typically? It's all about turn 3. They have nearly identical health, and they have identical behavior on turn 1 and turn 2. On turn 3, they do the same thing as each other, but the back one has larger attack and block values, and so is more of a nuisance if left alive. There's Fumes, but do I want Fumes? Not really. Sneaky Strike is pretty good with Pyramid, especially with these 2 gambles. No upgrades, though. I'm going to skip all these cards. Do I take Fumes for Champ? No. Maybe I should. I'm going to say no. Going to hold us back in the elite fights, which I don't like very much. can buy our Shiv potion back. We didn't find a potion after the nerds we killed. Not a bad idea. I'm 1 gold short of Shiv potion and a card remove. That's cruel. Nunchaku's pretty good here. This gives us energy for every 10 attacks played, and that's really strong with the Blade Dance and the backstabs. There's also the Prismatic Shard, allowing us to find card rewards from all colors. That's cute. But I think that Shiv potion might be the best way to get through the elite fight. Bummer. Yeah, energy's really good on Pyramid, is why I want to take Nunchaku, but... the elite, though. But the elite, though. Oh, but the snake plant. Even worse. Here's one of my favorite things to do with Runic Pyramid. Or with Calculated Gamble in general. Blade Dance. Gamble for 9 new cards. Did not get Piercing Whale, but I can just do that again. Secret Elite neutralized. Okay, there's the debuff turn. Now we can put our damage to work here. Next turn's going to be a little bit more awkward, because now we're going to be frail. At least neutralize the snake plant. It's already gone. And if I don't set up some damage here, I'm going to fail to kill it next turn too, right? So we have to decide how much damage to take here. Next turn, I'm probably taking a ton, so we should just be willing to Bouncing Flask here. Could have Survivored rather than backflipping. How's it going, Omen Tree? Thanks for the card and relic tier lists on YouTube. Helped you see value in cards you had discounted before. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Could Ghost Pot for 15? No way in heck am I doing that. What a chance. Well. Ooh, with an upgrade? Sure. Yeah, stacking poison is the way to go. And Tropic Brew, huh? I think I keep these potions, unfortunately. Maybe using the ghost was correct, but I think it's a resource too valuable to hold on to most of the time. Cool. Gremlin Leader, not the worst outcome here, certainly. Leader can be tough, but can also be somewhat easy to deal with Piercing Whale and such. We have Piercing Whale in hand. I probably shouldn't gamble yet then. Though it's tempting to want to get Bouncing Flask. You know what? I will. So we want all the poison to go on the leader here. Two new gremlins. Only 4. That's 11. Do the following. There we go. Keep stacking poison every turn here. It looks like this fight's already over. Gremlin Leader chose never to attack us, which is definitely what you want in this fight. There it is, but it's too late. We've already stacked enough poison. If we weren't more aggressive here, this is the turn we die. So you got to be aggro. Well, maybe not die. We would have to use the Ghost, which would be very bad. We get Duvu Doll. We get 1 strength per curse we have, which means we're up to 2 strength now. The strong silent type. And we're being offered an After Image, a power that gives us block per card we play. We've got Blade Dances, we've got 0-cost Gambles, 0-cost Backstabs. I think After Image is pretty cool. When do you actually need Deadly Poison? When you need a way to stack damage on a big single target. Poison is all about damage over time against bosses, really. That's what Silent has it for, I think. The main role, so to speak. I'm resting at this fire. It's my best upgrade. Resting. Yeah, I think I'm resting here. These 3 are the real nasty. And this fight, this turn 1, is why I said we have to buy this potion. Let's see. If we backstab, backstab, strike, strike, we have 13. 13 is 26. Plus 11 is 37. Plus 8 is 45. Plus 5 is 50. We actually do have a kill without the Shiv Potion. But if we didn't get both of these strikes, we wouldn't be able to kill the Red Slaver on turn 1. And as it stands, I think I still want to use the Shiv Potion here. That's what we bought it for, is this fight. Isn't a calculated gamble upgrade really important? I would say not yet. Maybe immediately prior to the champ fight. Given that we have 2 of them, I also don't feel as much need for an upgrade as prior. Or 8, that's right. Oh, the extra strength from the Duvu Doll. If we hadn't had the Duvu Doll in the chest, or from the previous elite, then we also wouldn't have been able to get the kill without the Shiv Potion. So I stand by the potion being at the time necessary. I guess we're full blocking. Ow. Maybe wanted to wail and then corpse explode that fool. Why is the correct order front guy second instead of middle guy? Second, do you mean? Or are you asking why red guy first? Red guy has to be first because of his nasty, nasty debuffs. But blue guy doesn't always need to be second, actually. Oakheart Monster, thanks for 27 months of support. Allowed to play Bouncing Flask. Blood Vial will heal us gradually. That could be cool. Might even be offered the bites from the vampires, which could be neat. Deflect is okay with Runic Pyramid. Wouldn't call it great, though. It's just fine. A little bit better with the After Image. I don't feel like it's good enough, though, to merit inclusion here. Pretty happy with Hourglass, dealing 3 damage per turn to every enemy. And another relic, back-to-back relics here. This one, the Frozen Egg, upgrading any and all powers that we add to the deck. Good reason to go to this shop here, because there's always a power for sale at the shop. Was I willing to take the risk of Wound Handclog because of the calculated gambles? No, I was willing to take the risk of Wound Handclog because in my hand was enough damage to kill the enemies. So there's no risk of being stuck with 10 wounds there because if I play all the cards in my hand, they dead. Looks like we're going to kill Mystic on turn 1 here. Usually I don't advise it, but if it can prevent 9 damage, it's worth it. This is now 22 damage. Let me just confirm that I can't kill the Centurion. I think with the Fire Potion I can. Is the Fire Potion not better in the Elite fight? I think we're going to get a new potion. We have 50-60 chance. So let's do some quick math here. 26 plus 22 is 48. 48 plus 16 is more than 60, so yes, this will kill you. Although I do have to skip the defend, do I not? I do. So it's actually the same damage, no matter who I kill. Also, yes, Blade Dance is 24, not 22. Why I usually use a calculator. Very easy to do simple arithmetic errors. Even if you're very practiced at math. There it is. That's why I skipped the deflect. I knew there was a reason. Give me that. Now we have a deflect with a plus, and that's just way better. How many backstabs is too many? I think a third one at this point would be too many. Piercing Whale is here. Probably just Whale card remove. Caltrops can be a bit tempting for another damage source. Twisted Funnel can be a bit tempting for a initial damage source. But I'm definitely thinking Piercing Whale card remove. That's where I'm headed. With 2 strength, I think I keep my strikes. Is that true? It's not true. Give me a potion. What's the right way to do this? Blade Dance knocks this bird to the ground. I could Corpse Explode it to deal 29 to the Chosen. Would I have taken Ornamental Fan if I had the money? I don't think it's worth 280 gold in this position. It's helpful, but not helpful enough to merit that big price. Yeah, we're fine, right? You take 6 plus 5 plus 3, you die next turn. Any reason to wait on the backstabs? Yes, after image. Okay, now we don't want to wait. Beautiful. Perfectly killed it. Gooseberry, thanks for the Prime sub and the 34 months of support. Can I kill Champ without a second Bouncing Flask? Can I even play the second Bouncing Flask? I'm upgrading Calculated Gamble. I don't think I get to use this. No, I don't think so. Okay. Go to the Elite fight. It's another Gremlin leader. Should be easy to take care of here. What's the line? Something like this. Again, I'm going to hold on to the backstab so I can use it with After Image for 1 block. Or maybe kill another Gremlin later on here. really want to Corpse Explode the new minions, so I'm not going to play Corpse Explosion now. And I want to use the backstab to kill the minion I Corpse Explode. So let's double defend here. Just make room in hand. With Runic Pyramid, the so-called hand clog, where you cannot draw new cards because you've already got 10 cards in hand, can be a problem. Part of avoiding hand clog means using all your energy each turn to play cards, even if those don't actually do anything, just to make room for the new cards. Yeah, it has to be 12 damage. Okay, this, I think, is the moment Calculated Gamble was born for. Because, yes, Hand Clog with Runic Pyramid can be a problem. You see here we've got 8 defensive cards and no offense on a turn we're not being attacked. Normally, that's a really bad thing, but Calculated Gamble says, actually, we have all the damage. Instead, please poison the leader a lot, and then try not to die next turn. Thank you for not killing me. At this point, we can just ignore the minions and go for the jugular here. Very good elite fights in Act 2. See you later, sucker. Get the Bag of Preparation. 2 more cards on turn 1. With the Runic Pyramid, this is fantastic. Oh my. And we get Adrenaline or Accuracy Plus. Don't think the Accuracy Plus does that much. We only have 1 Blade Dance. Adrenaline's quite helpful. Let's take Adrenaline. And I'm going to take the Energy Potion as well. So, we're facing the champ. Our plan against the champ is to stack as much poison as possible with the Deadly Poison Bouncing Flask. We're going to get back to those by using Calculated Gamble over and over again. So we do want one of these to be upgraded so that we can use it more than once. Our defensive plan, the Piercing Whales can stop Execute from champ. If we need to, we have Ghost in a Jar to stop a second Execute. But overall, this guy is a bit of a tough customer and could definitely cause us some problems. Yeah, this fight definitely begs for a catalyst. Alas, we have no such thing at our disposal at this time. Champ likes to make you weak and vulnerable and frail, which makes him very hard to block against. Guess I'll just start with some poison right now, since I can't block anyway. Now. After Image will help, though. Metallicize here, and then taunts us on this turn, so we get to Bouncing Flask here also. So I want a Calculated Gamble now. The unupgraded one. I think that I do. Try to get more poison here. Sort of. Champ's going to Enrage when he gets below half health here. Half health per champ being 220, so that's going to happen next turn. Essentially, no matter what. That means this is a good time to use our Energy Potion, so we can play Bouncing Flask. Let's see. 281 minus 54 is perfect, right? $227, just above half health here. Yes, we play Deadly Poison. Goal is stack as much poison on Champ just before he reaches half health threshold. And then bring him as far below half health as possible on this turn. What the gamble is, I think, for? Yeah, I'm going to gamble here, for better or worse. We have 2 turns. Perfect. Also pretty good. Won't be weak next turn, though. Let's use that next turn. And then the Piercing Wail and the Deflect are all going to be... He's got too much block now. Okay, we have double Piercing Wail, Deflect, Survivor. We should be able to survive the Execute coming next turn. And Neutralize, too. Good. The bad news is that Champ will lose all of the poison we've accumulated on him so far here. He does cleanse debuffs. And that means we have to do a bunch of damage still. Could be very tough. Do 100 damage with 14 Metallicize. That's not going to be easy. By double Piercing Wail, I can play Blade Dance now. That seems like a good idea. Okay, so we stopped the first Execute cold, but there's another one coming. We might have to use this Ghost. Also, his basic attacks are freaking enormous, so simply playing Bouncing Flask might not actually be on the table here. Kind of spooky as well. That said, I think I should still play Bouncing Flask on this turn, because if we don't get poison back on him, we're going to die real quick. Deck definitely wants more energy here. You could see how Nunchaku might have helped a lot for this fight. I'll take the hit to get the poison down. I think it's required. We never die to another attack, thankfully. Hopefully I can block this. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Oh, Deadly Skewer? I don't think I need Skewer next turn to win, do I? I don't think so. He does another Execute. This one for 33 by 2. You hate to see it. Can I kill the Champ? Is my question. If we can kill the Champ, that'd be very convenient here. Do 33? Yeah, we can, I think. Yes! Okay, cool. We have just enough damage, thanks to playing the Bouncing Flask earlier, to kill Champ without having to use this Ghost. And that's very important that we save that. Thank you, Dubu Doll. Definitely a tough fight, though, as you could see. And our rare cards are pretty underwhelming here. Second Corpse Explosion is a bit redundant. Storm of Steel is a little bit awkward. Discarding our whole hand is not what you want with Pyramid. Doppelganger gives us next turn draw, also not really a thing with Pyramid. Although can carry energy over from turn to turn. How scary would Champ be if he didn't hold back for the first half of the fight? Pretty much impossible to beat. I really like Champ's design because they've taken the concept of an arrogant foe who is undone by his own hubris, and they've translated that literally into game mechanics. So you have a fight that plays out mechanically like somebody who is gloating and not taking the fight seriously. And only when it's too late does he start to realize you're a threat. Would I rather get Pyramid at the end of Act 1 or Act 2? I prefer to end of Act 1. It gives me more time to build around it. And pick up opportunistically the cards that really have high impact. Oh no. Dome is my energy option? I don't like that. Runic Dome. Can no longer see enemy intents. This is definitely tough. We do appreciate more energy quite a lot, but it makes it very hard to use the piercing whales effectively. So we can either transform and upgrade 3 cards, or outright remove 2. We want a non-energy option here. That's going to all but require that we procure energy in some other way. Concentrate, outmaneuver, relics, anything like that would work just fine. I like Cage here. It's not uncertain at all. Tactician would work okay as well. I'm going to choose Empty Cage. Remove 2 outright. Rather than transform and upgrade 3, rely on unreliable transforms. A smaller deck means we're more likely to get to the powerful cards, more likely to get to the 0-cost cards. Let's dunk 2 cards here. Lose strike, lose 1 defend. Keep the upgraded strikes because they do 11. Is Astrolabe better with Egg? No, because the cards are already going to be upgraded, so it's not better at all. There is no improvement. You could even argue worse with Egg, I suppose. In Act 3 here, I'm looking to get lots of elites to prepare for Act 4. Upgrades are pretty good, although it does depend on what exactly the deck has. Here we have some pretty good upgrades. Pandora's is better with Egg. Yes, that's true. Quite a few elites, quite a few upgrades. I like that path. Could get this early shop. We can afford a removal. That's not bad. There's also going to be an upgraded power here, right? I really want Footwork Plus or something. It is Time Eater first, so I'm pretty glad I didn't take Runic Dome, because Time Eater with Runic Dome is a nightmare. So are these nerds. Thankfully, we have Corpse Explosion right away to put a quick end to this fight. Otherwise, could you imagine? Be gone. Okay, this time it has a plus on it, the backstab. And I have so very little energy. I'll take it. Since we have so many cards on turn 1, I'll take it. Jingo, thanks for 9 months. That's definitely our last backstab, though. Stupid event. No, I can't afford it. We begin to fall. Piercing Whale, After Image, or Skewer. Skewer? I guess I'll lose Skewer. It's not like we make lots of energy anymore. 3's mean. Should be taking more combats because we need card rewards. Chunky. Very chunky. Would Astrolabe Molten Egg upgrade Searing Blow twice? I don't think so. No, I don't think it works that way, unfortunately. Expensive? I don't have Weaken, though. That's going to be still worth it. Expensive weakness, but we need it. Hello. You could be trouble. Okay, let's just Dark Shackles now so we can get some damage done. The quicker we can make this fight, the better. Nemesis is definitely a tough customer. Sometimes attacks you for 45, which is just way too much. Yeah. I was afraid of that. Hopefully we can block it. And I can't do that twice in a row, so I have a turn off now. Brief reprieve, if nothing else. Thank you for not further despoiling me. Okay, just one more turn of not killing me. Thank you. Dang it. Didn't listen to my plea. Bummer. I don't like that. If I gamble, we are likely to get burns, but I do need weakness, so we pretty much have to. Could also use the ghost, but I think if we play the right sequence of cards here, we don't need to ghost. No, we take 4 damage. That's not worth using the ghost for. That was pretty good. No problem. This run won't give up the ghost so easily. Ooh, escape plan. That's a 0-cost card and therefore of high interest to us at this time. Acrobatics, not so much. I can't afford that card. This draws 1, which is also pretty good. But if we can't find a catalyst or other way to scale our poison some more, we're going to have a really hard time. Let's see. Upgrade. Upgrade Adrenaline, because I am so desperate for energy that I will upgrade Adrenaline. Sounds good. Sounds good. Can I even win this fight? Oh boy. Playing both of these poison cards turn 1 seems like it's our only hope, right? This enemy has a lot of health, and they will scale damage pretty quickly, and we do not have a lot of energy. So we're definitely staring at a problem here. Yeah, I'm going to regen potion now. We're going to skip all the defense, just do damage here. Take 13 to the face, draw up to 10 cards. And then I guess I would like to Blade Dance. It's a full block. Yeah, this is definitely a problem. Gonna be time to block now. The giant head attacks for 40 damage on the first turn, and it only goes up from there. Do I have a preference between Silent and Ironclad? I think I enjoy Ironclad more. Alright. Need to use this Adrenaline to get Bouncing Flask in play. So realistically, I gotta use it now anyway. Okay, deadly poison in play. That'll have to do. Just think we're in for a bad time, though. These cards are all too bad. Moment. There we go. Woof. And a dad joke for the crowd, courtesy of Menenes. Which enemy in the Spire makes the most puns? The giant dad. No refunds to shut. Things are happening? Yeah, the thing that's happening is our health is going down rapidly. Very rapidly. Right, I think it might be time to ghost here. If I ghost in a jar, play both poison cards, we get to live for one more turn. Alright. Pretty bad sign, though, if we have to do this. Should have taken the second Blade Dance in Act 1. Heck. Meal ticket's nice. We can at least heal. At a shop. Although I'm not going to a shop. We're going to go rest. Of that garbage, thanks. Do I sometimes find problematic anti-synergy between Runic Pyramid and Blade Dance because of Hand Clog? Yes, definitely, especially on low energy like we have. Because you can rarely play enough cards before the Blade Dance. Usually not the biggest of problems, but it can definitely be an issue. Alright, I'll take a Fumes Plus, because I do think we need more poison. Freaking accuracies, man. I could have had it all. I've had so many shivs. Oops. Don't kill it yet. That's not the correct raw. Dang. Double dang. There's Corpse Explosion. You're too late. Had to use the stuff earlier. Dang it. Can't be like that. Upping ink bottle here. What do you call a vessel made to carry discontent? A bag of perturbation. Thank you, Hazeberry, for 7 months of support. All right, no catalyst, but how about 2 noxious fumes? Is that going to cut it? I don't think so, but we're going to try. We are going to try. Good. Good. Keep these in case of 45. Yeah, there it is. Knew that was coming. Nice try, nerd. Flask down here. That we're able to block those hits is actually rather encouraging, though. Preserved insect from the last elite, or I guess penultimate elite. That will help us in Act 4. These will not. Why is Karate Kids the Silent's favorite movie? Because Johnny knows how to leg sweep. And Triptychon, thanks so much for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. How's it going, Scumbag Nullify? You're looking at run number 1 today. Why do burns auto discard? It's because they're being played. Any card that has a effect that activates at the end of the turn will automatically discard from your hand as it does so. So that's burn, decay, regret. I think are the 3 cards that do that. Tingsha or Bandage Up would have been enough for a win. Well, we could still get the bandages from the Spire Elites. It's still possible. We have to get through the Act 3 bosses first, which might mean upgrading the other Calculated Gamble, although I could also definitely see upgrading Leg Sweep being huge here. Let's upgrade Leg Sweep, actually. So I have a half-decent block card. If you have multiple regrets in hand, I think they count down, activating from left to right. Oh yeah, shame and regret. Or shame and... What's the one that implies weakness? Shame and doubt. Both also kick out of your hand at the end of the turn for the same reason. Oh, leg sweep turn 1. I like it. Time Eater gains strength every time we play 12 cards, which means we have to be really efficient with our card plays to be able to prevail here. This is where the Noxious Fumes are going to come in very big here by allowing us to play a lot of cards. Or a lot of, get a lot of poison for few cards played, excuse me. That's what I'm trying to say here. Perfect. Let's go Dark Shackles, Deadly Poison. That's a pretty good start to Time Eater, actually. Get a lot of poison down and both fumes down. Calls for a piercing wail. Oh. That's just keep stacking that poison. I think it's our best bet. Definitely struggling to block at this time, though. The meter goes below half health on this turn. That means next turn they will remove all of their debuffs. We're going to use the Piercing Wail to reset their strength as they do. They go back to 0 strength here because of the Piercing Wail that we just played. Get some weaken, get the poison going again. All we have to do is survive phase 2 here. Couldn't be that bad. Although this is... Good. Is Piercing Wail resetting strength a feature or a bug? Kind of hard to tell, honestly. I like to think of it as an inevitable consequence of game mechanics. It's just, it's the results of how the Piercing Wail card works and anything that removes debuffs, basically. This is 5 cards, so yes, I can do enough, right? We get 3. I guess I just stop. Let the hit come. Yeah, it's pretty mean, though. That's already with Weaken, too. It's already with Weaken. Ouch. Get stuck at 11 cards, take some damage. One of the reasons I also don't generally call it a bug is because there's not really a way to avoid the mechanic. I mean, you can just not play Whale on the turn or whatever, but that's... There are situations where you'd be forced to for hand clog reasons and such. Kind of weird calling it a bug to me. It's just like, that's what happens when the mechanics interact every time. Whereas the Pandora's glitch. Pandora's glitch is absolutely a bug, and one that was left in the game on purpose for speedrunners' benefit. So the devs chose not to fix Pandora's box glitch. Stark Shackles draw. Might have to use the colorless potion in this fight. We'll see. It's a pretty good turn one. I actually like that I'm taking one. We should have Corpse Explosioned first there. Oh well. There we go. Look at those fumes. Is fine. We're gonna heal to full in Act 4. I don't think I need to use either potion. Looks like we're winning here. Always have a hard time knowing when you're gonna use when you should use colorless potion. It's pretty hard to figure out. I'm gonna be honest. It's not very straightforward. They're pretty unreliable in what they do. You're kind of looking out for a couple specific cards mainly. Stuff like Apotheosis or the Bomb are usually some of the big hits. But these things can be almost anything. So anytime a card has multiple debuffs, to determine which one is blocked by artifact, just read the card from top to bottom. Poison is first. When the enemy dies, do damage is second. So poison would get blocked by artifact, and then the explosion gets transferred if they have only one artifact. Okay, this donut needs to die soon, because the damage is getting higher and higher here, and I'm starting to struggle to block. Use the Blade Dance. Looks like we're almost done, though. One more turn. Just have to survive this. That should be easy. Need the deflect. Good fight. Even get to keep Ink Bottle on 9 here. We're on to Act 4. This run has a chance. More than just a chance. The Noxious Fumes actually really helped, I have to say. Without the Frozen Egg, those would not have been strong enough. Two thump, two thump, two thump. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the Heart of the Spire, the source of all these energy cheats? Have I been here before? A lot of things in the shop could change our fate here. By the way, we do go to full health, so we can upgrade. Thinking the second gamble might be important. We could also upgrade After Image to guaranteed have it immediately on turn 1. Or Neutralize for more weaken. Or Corpse Explosion for more poison. How do I think it would be going if I took Dome? I think Time Eater would have really messed us up. This deck is really dependent on the Piercing Wails and the Dark Shackles for defense. And so if we cannot know when the right turn is to use these, we're going to have a really bad time. I don't think it would be going very well. Isn't upgrading Gamble basically like upgrading After Image? Yeah, kind of. Let's upgrade Gamble here. I like having 2 of these. We should be able to get After Image pretty early on. Oh my lord. We can duplicate any card in the deck. Or we can add a Footwork Plus. Hmm. I don't think double after image would be good enough. If I was going to double something, it would be Adrenaline or Dark Shackles, probably. Or actually, the Deflect is okay, too. Cultist Potion, I don't think I would buy. Energy Potion, probably. I think that's better than Colorless Potion. We could do Footwork, Energy Potion. Mirror a Calculated Gamble. I could also see that. Is our damage enough for hearts? Not really. Neither is our block. I don't know how we're going to deal with the heart. To be honest here. We're going to need some help from the elite reward, I think. It's not looking great. This Flex Potion could help us turn 1 against Shield and Spear. I'm okay with that. So let's go... Let's go Energy Potion Footwork. And we're going to hope. Let bandages go. They are small. I did get Corpse Explosion turn 1. Wow, that's a good turn 1. Okay. That's what you want to see, for the most part. Don't have enough energy for all of it, though. We have Gamble plus in hands. So I think I want to make a lot of room in hands. Might have to use the Energy Potion next turn. Backstab there. Leg sweep back over here. Keep all this. Not what you want to see. Okay, wail twice and then gamble. I'll lose Corpse Explosion for now. We'll be back for it. Yeah, here we go. Get 1 fumes down for sure. Not enough block without Dark Shackles. We can wait then. Or I can Energy Potion to get Fumes after image down, which might be a good idea. Still think we need to do that in the heart fight, more importantly, though. Next turn we get attacked for quite a bit. Yeah, it's also 2 draw. What if Flex Potion next turn? I've already got 3 strength. So these are gonna be 7, 12 each. Actually, no, 11 each. Which means I can actually just kill you with the Flex Potion. Let's not use the Energy Potion then. I can turn this into a one-on-one. We're good. Kind of hoping to win with the Corpse Explosion, but this works fine. Dark Shackles next turn. We should be able to kill before we get multi-attacked. Or Dark Shackles in 2 turns, excuse me. Let's go bouncy, bouncy. And then if I dagger throw, we should have full block here. 2 block, 2 damage. Dark Shackles shuts this down. 12x4, more like 3x4. Okay. Good fight. Happy Flower. Yes, we get energy. Much needed energy for the heart fight, in addition to the energy potion. Do we ever take a cloak and dagger? I don't think so. Block potion also very helpful for staying alive here. Will this be enough to defeat heart? I'm not sure, but I've given us the best chance we could possibly have, surely. That's a great turn 1. We get Leg Sweep turn 1. We get Noxious Fumes turn 1. It's a very good turn 1. I think I just sweep triple backstab Fumes. We are going to draw 1 card off Ink Bottle. Keeping the Gamble in hand to get rid of statuses is good. Dark Shackles can shut down the first multi-hit if necessary. We're going to have to tank the first big hit with the Block Potion, though. That's guaranteed. Thankfully, Weaken makes it a lot less scary. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we got. Multi-hit first. Encouraging. Lots of poison, also somewhat encouraging. Beat of Death is definitely going to hit us this turn. Which is fine. I just shackled. And wail the next 2. There's footwork. That means I'm adrenalining now. Bummer. More energy next turn. Definitely just use the Block Potion right now. Already weak. We're looking for the other Fumes and the Bouncing Flask, so we should gamble. Who put that void there? Only 1 in 4 chance this gives me block, so I don't think I'd bother. Okay, and we're going to play poison cards here. We're going to trade some health on purpose. Because we absolutely need to apply as much poison as possible to have any chance whatsoever of winning this fight. Maybe tempting to do something like Energy Potion to get rid of Slimed and play another defend. I don't think so, though. I think that's going to wait. Our back pocket. Pretty good draws so far. Yeah, I really don't have a lot of room to complain here. We're not getting a lot done on our turn, though, is the problem. Okay, that's not great. Suppose I neutralize, then gamble. Get back to the other Piercing Wail here. Leg Sweep. Now we Energy Potion, because then I can Survivor and Bouncing Flask. And getting the Bouncing Flask down now is imperative. Now we use it. We have Piercing Wail for next turn. Maybe better to Bouncing Flask backflip? It's the same block. We actually take nothing. Great turn. And then the need to do poison is still high, so I think I Piercing Wail gamble, try to get back to Bouncing Flask here. Take a little bit of Beat of Death in the process, that's fine. Am I allowed to use this gamble? I don't think that I am, because I think I need to hold on to Piercing Wail. 2 turns from now, we may have to contend with another multi-attack, and if I don't have Piercing Wail in hand, we will straight die to that. Also, I should get Bouncing Flask next turn at minimum. We can just poison next turn when we're dealing with a buff. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Play that for damage, stack more weak, get a point of strength. Looking okay here. The damage is certainly adding up. Although Beat of Death is about to become 3, and that's always a problem. Get rid of this. Need to keep Piercing Wail in hands. 70 damage per turn means the heart dies pretty quick. We don't have that much time. Okay, multi-hit is first. Arguably that's good. What am I doing here? Leg sweep, Piercing Wail, next turn, deflect, backflip. Still adding 6 poison per turn with fumes as well. We gotta save deflect for this turn. Time's running out quick though. Definitely need to keep doing damage. So playing this deadly poison, good idea. Blade Dance plus next turn also looks like a pretty good idea. And I think taking a little bit of damage here to get more damage down is a good idea as well. Yeah, it's definitely coming down to the wire, as you can see. Okay, what's the play? Beat of Death at 3. Is this something like deflect, neutralize Blade Dance? No, we should play this Bouncing Flask. Use the Blade Dance to kill next turn. What is this? Defend and neutralize Bouncing Flask? No, we want to have neutralize in hand so we can make room for Blade Dance next turn. This is either defend Bouncing Flask or it's actually just straight strike Bouncing Flask. And that might be the answer here, strike Bouncing Flask. Let's do that. Strike plus. That's a big strike. 6 by 15. Death arrives. However, not for me, but for the heart. GG, Mr. Heart. Watch out for that burn in hands. GG, what a run. 3 basic energy. If it weren't for the Happy Flower, I don't know if we had enough for the heart fight there. If you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And don't forget to check out Baalorlord Plays for variety content. Click the blue Baaler icon to subscribe.